Welcome to the Context Machine, episode number 718. I'm Bryan Chaffin.
And I'm Jeff Gamet. And, the whole thing with flipping the numbers upside down and telling you what it is, in this case, seems kind of lame because I think it's like Bill or something. But anyhow, we have a website and you should go check us out there. And I promise I am not saying stupid things about flipping numbers upside down on the website. It's contextmachine.io. Did I even say my name? I'm Jeff Gamet.
Yes, you did. You can also use contextmachine.io to reach out to us or find us on Threads at Context Machine Podcast or on Blue Sky at contextmachine.bsky.social.
Awesome. And even though I may not be able to remember if I just told you my name, I do remember and know for certain our sponsor today is Framer, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We're going to tell you more about them later in the show.
We are. Bryan, another thing that I'm excited about and also very proud of is the newsletter that we have that goes along with our podcast. I love the stuff that's going in it. I like that it's additional to what we have on the show, as opposed to just a rehash of what we talked about on the show. So everyone, it's free. Please go to contextmachine.io, click the newsletter link, and sign up for a newsletter. You're going to love it.
Yep. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, you may not know we're on YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, I'm assuming you know that we're on YouTube.
You're like really clever.
Mind like a steel top man. Anyway, regardless, you can find us on YouTube at Context Machine Show. Yes, Context Machine Show. That's our YouTube handle, and we would love it if you subscribe to us there and see our lovely, charming faces.
Yeah, please go sign up.
Right. Top men for sure. All right. Jeff, let's see. We're starting off this show with a heads up warning. I know that I personally got 2 emails from my ex-wife, except they weren't actually from her, but they were addressed to me, and they were short messages that gave me reason to click on a link. I actually did click on the first link, much to my shame. I clicked on it. Fortunately, the server didn't respond, which I'm very glad about. But anyway, the point is, I got messages from someone that I know that was not from their actual email address, but these messages, these were emails, and they were worded I thought very well, to get someone to casually click a link. And then I know that you also experienced something this week, Jeff.
Well, it wasn't this week. It was a little while ago, but it was with my parents. I'm glad I was with them because my mom got a phone call, and she answers her phone, and what she hears is a man talking. He's very, very upset and stressed, and he's purporting to be my brother and telling my mom that he was just in a wreck. He thinks his nose is broken, and now my mom's 86 years old, and she's just kind of freaking out, and she tells me what's on the phone. I'm like, give me your phone, and I'm listening. Doesn't sound like my brother, but voices can sound weird when you're under high stress.
Yep.
But I very quickly realized this was not my brother, nor was this a person. This was an AI system that was responding to my voice and trying to interact with me, and presumably a scam. Like they were going to need money because of their broken nose or broken car or whatever. And it was easy in that case to suss out that this was fake. And one of the things, go ahead.
I think it's very important to note that this may not have sounded like your brother, but we are well, it is possible now for people to use some kind of model to actually reproduce our voices.
Absolutely.
And that will become easier, basically on the daily.
Yes.
So this could well have been a situation where your parents got a call from someone that sounded like your brother, who was claiming to be your brother, who was, basically trying to get some money out of them.
Yeah.
And that was in the case of my emails. I'm assuming it was either payload delivery,
Mm-hmm.
where they were going to inject some kind of 0-day exploit. Using a 0-day exploit, we're going to try to inject some code onto my machine, or
Mm-hmm.
it was going to end up being some kind of phishing attempt. But these attacks will become more sophisticated as we go.
Yes.
We all have to be on our guard. And again, I clicked on a link.
Well, this
I'm shocked and I'm embarrassed. But the point is, I clicked on a link, and I am very careful.
okay. I appreciate you being shocked and embarrassed. However, this is something that can happen to any of us, regardless of how diligent we are,
Yeah.
because there's enough that's happening with these types of scams and phishing attempts that plays off of just human nature,
Mm-hmm.
that it just sets us up so that at some point any of us can get taken in by a scam and not realize it until, like in this case, you clicked the link and then the server didn't respond, and but by this point you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have clicked that link.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So be on the lookout. Do your best to be on the lookout for those who you care about, and also for those, do your best to educate those who look to you for technical advice. And I know that there are a lot of our listeners for whom that's the case.
Yes. So now you have more information for the next time you get the call from a family member or friend.
Yep.
Yep.
Also,
hey,
yeah,
go ahead. Oh, all right. Well, yes, I'm going to go ahead. I don't care what you were about to say, because I actually want to know more about something you were mentioning before the show, because you were talking about the one of the books that you're in, Neosynthesis,
mm-hmm.
And you're talking about like a deal or something.
Yeah,
and
we
tell everyone about that, please.
We have a deal on itch.io, that is, but also everywhere that Neosynthesis is for sale. It's for 12 days. It's down to 99 cents. So this is an anthology. 12 stories of code, consciousness, and survival is our tagline. And you can get it right now for 99 cents everywhere for ebooks, everywhere that it's available. So do check it out.
I paid more than 99 cents, and I'm not embarrassed to say that.
You got a physical copy, right?
I got a physical copy. Yeah.
Yeah. You're awesome.
Yeah. It's sitting right over there.
All right. And you're going to be at MacStock, right?
I am. And thank you for reminding me, because, well, at some point I have to go to the airport. No, thank you for reminding me, because I want to do a PSA. Okay, everyone, if you're going to MacStock, my workshop is on Friday morning. I'm the second presentation, and everyone gets to participate. We're all going to be making art, and all of you are artists, even if you don't realize it. You are. So everyone, please make sure you have Linear Sketch installed on your iPad before you show up, so that you're ready to go. If you're using a Mac instead of an iPad, just whatever app you want to use to make art in is fine. You can download Affinity for free, and it has drawing and painting tools built in, so that's an option too. But Linear Sketch, that's what I'm going to be working in. So everyone, install it, and we're going to have fun time making art at MacStock.
Fantastic, man. That's great. That's great. I wish you could be there.
I wish you could be there too. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be. All right. Well, let's get into our first. Our first. Well, I guess the PSA was the first. Anyway, whatever. iPhone rumors are ramping up,
Mm-hmm. They
and
are.
yeah, and surprise, it seems like Apple's gonna release a new iPhone in September.
I'm
That's,
actually kind of shocked to hear that. I
yeah,
mean,
that does seem to be news to some folks.
yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like they have a track record for doing this. Oh,
yeah,
wait.
yeah. Anyway, regardless, it I think that it is beyond set in stone that Apple will release its foldable iPhone this year.
I wouldn't go that far to say it's beyond set in
Oh
stone,
man,
but I
come
think
on,
the
man.
likelihood is pretty high.
We've we have crossed that line in the quality of the rumors. The line that you and I have been talking about for years. I mean, so
Yeah.
how can you doubt that?
All right. Here's where the doubt comes in for me. And but honestly, I think it is rolling out this fall. But the doubt is supply chain, because we live in crazy times right now with supply constraints, parts constraints. So if Apple can't get enough parts to actually release this phone when they're ready to, I could see them postponing it and launching it a few months later.
Eh.
But like I said, I think the likelihood that this is actually happening is pretty high.
The quality of the rumors, the level of the rumors, we've reached that point where it's happening, man. Apple could end up delaying the actual release, but they're going to show that thing this September.
All right, I'll accept that. Okay, now I have a question for you, Brian.
Yeah.
If they show off this foldable iPhone, is it something that you would consider buying?
Well, probably not, simply because of my finances at the moment.
Okay, let's take finances out of the mix.
Okay, so for one thing, if the device did not, if it sacrificed on the camera in particular, no, I would not.
Mhm.
I would not sacrifice camera for the foldability. However, if it is the same camera that'll be on the Pro, and it doesn't otherwise compromise physical specs, I would be tempted, depending on the price. So I'm expecting
Okay.
this to be an expensive freaking device.
I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah. So I know that I've said in the past, not even that long ago, that that a use case for a foldable iPhone eludes me, and that's still the case. But uh, Apple has changed my mind on wanting something that they've announced in the past, and they have absolutely changed your mind. There have been
They
several
absolutely
cases
have.
where you have said, yeah, I'm not going to want that. And then
Uh,
Apple shows it and you want it.
And look, I'm wearing an Apple Watch right now. That is straight up proof.
Right.
Yep.
So I've always been prepared for Apple to change my mind on this. But as we get closer to it, I can see the desire. I can absolutely see the desire of having something that folds up and has a smaller footprint in my pocket. And I think that particularly applies to women, right? Women often complain about the pockets that they have access to, right?
So, okay, that's a really good point, and I don't think this phone will actually address that issue. I think that what it'll be is okay. I need to give credit where credit is due. on In Touch with iOS at one point, Marty Gensius said that that he thinks the foldable iPhone will essentially be two iPhone Airs stuck together. And I think for the
Oh,
form factor,
so
he's
opening it up
probably
this
right.
way, not this way.
Yeah. So
So,
open like a book, not like a notepad. And so I think the size overall will still be too big for women's pockets.
yeah, that would be the case if it opens up like a book. I was thinking that the idea,
Like flip phone style opening,
yeah, that this was an attempt to get back down to a flip phone sized footprint, similar footprint.
which I mean could be. Uh, okay, I have to be fair here. Uh, when I had a Motorola Razr flip phone,
Yeah, I love that thing.
that was one of my favorite phones I ever had. Um, but I don't think Apple's going to give us something that small. I think Marty is probably closer to right on the form
Yeah,
factor.
I now that you pointed out, I agree. That does seem more likely to me.
Yeah,
And
he
the
even went
interesting,
so far as to say the Air, he sees it as a test bed for the foldable phone.
mm, and okay, yeah, that remains to be seen. But okay,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. I feel like Apple could make a could have more of a dent with the smaller form factor that expands to something that we consider phone size today. Something that's
Mhm.
small that unfolds to a normal phone size. More than the idea of something like two Airs put together, but I don't know. That remains to be seen.
It does. Yeah. I feel like I should answer the same question I posed to you. And as it stands today, I'm not interested in a foldable phone. And I fully accept based on how I've responded to products from Apple in the past where I've been like, oh, I don't know. Um, that could change. But for me, I do not see a use case for a foldable phone, and there's just nothing enticing to me today about that. However, if Apple released a foldable iPad, I I would be jumping all over that. To me, that's like a really compelling use case. Give me something that's iPad mini-ish size that folds out into a full-size iPad. Oh yeah, more portable iPad with a bigger screen so I can do my mini sort of things and then fold it out and now I have my art tablet or my video editing tablet. Oh yeah, that sounds really compelling.
I feel like that's a much more niche application than for a phone.
Maybe, but at the same time, I look at foldable phones as a niche thing. Like I'm still trying to find the problem that this is a solution for.
Well, okay. Would you agree that the idea of having the smaller footprint that expands to today's iPhone sized footprint that that is a more compelling case?
Yeah, it's but okay. Yeah, I'm just having a hard time with it. It just e- even in that case, I'm still having a hard time finding the long term use case beyond. Oh, I've got a small screen, but now I've got a big screen on the phone in my pocket.
Yeah, and I would add to that by saying, for me, and this is absolutely a personal statement. I am not interested in the two iPhone Airs put together. I
Yeah,
don't have any interest in that form factor.
yeah, um, yeah. Okay, and uh, the experience that I've had with people that have foldable phones, their use case is, this is cool. And not like they've told me that they have better productivity with the device. It's just, my phone folds. This is really cool.
Okay, right. So I think it's important to note that we could both be surprised by what Apple shows us.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. I'd love to hear from listeners. You can email us at podcast@contextmachine.io.
Mm-hmm. Or talk to us on social media.
Yep. Or talk to us on social media.
Yep. Contextmachine .bsky.social. No, wait. Contextmachine.mastodon.social.
Sure. Contextmachine.bsky.social, Context Machine podcast on Threads, and Mastodon is at Context Machine.
At Context Machine. Yep. Okay. There we go.
Yeah. Top men. And I would particularly love hearing before and after takes. So if you've got a take on this now, talk to us about it. Let us know.
Yes, please.
And while we're at it, go leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify if you haven't canceled your Spotify subscription, which you should.
Yeah. Thank you, all our Spotify listeners. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for listening to us. Now,
we just don't like the service.
Yeah.
Or the company. Yes. We don't like the company.
Yes, we don't like the company. But leave us a review. We would appreciate it. And on that note, I'm going to tell you about Framer. What do you say?
I would love to hear about Framer. Yes, please.
If your team wants a website that looks and feels handcrafted but is still fast to ship, Framer is built for that. You design on a visual canvas with responsive layouts, hosting, and a CMS built in, so the work is production ready from day one. Agents work alongside you to draft pages and polish sections, then you review and publish what goes live. Agents solve the gap between AI-generated ideas and production-ready website work. The agent works in the same place where the real site is designed, managed, reviewed, and published. It lands on the canvas, stays editable, and can be published when the team is ready. Agents and Framework work alongside teams to streamline collaboration on the same canvas, build custom code components, create and manage CMS context, optimize SEO settings, and ship everything all in one place. So learn how you can get more out of your site from a Framer specialist, or get started building for free today at framer.com/TCM for 30% off a Framer Pro annual plan. That's framer.com/TCM for 30% off. Framer.com/TCM. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hey, thank you, Framer.
Thank you very much, Framer. We appreciate the sponsorship. So our next topic is Meta.
Yeah. I think there's something bad caught in your throat. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just Meta.
That's just Meta. Yeah. So anyway, there's more Meta smart glasses.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes, you're right. Not rumors. This is not rumors. Meta announced, as we record, I believe it was yesterday, that they are going to start producing their own smart glasses. So they have the deal with Ray-Ban, but they're going to start doing their own thing as well. So these are supposed to be, like fashionable smart glasses. They can be sunglasses and
fashionable.
Yeah, doing the air quotes for those of you that are listening, not watching. And they're going to cost $300. So significantly less than the cost of glasses that from their Ray-Ban partnership. And
these basically have a camera and a microphone. They don't have a screen, and they're being produced with the parent company that owns Ray-Ban and Oakley and stuff. But they won't come with Ray-Ban or Oakley branding.
Right, it'll be Meta branding on them.
Yeah.
Now that parent company, which, oh my God, how could I forget the name?
Excelsior or something another.
Uh, Luxottica.
Like,
So
yes,
yeah, they bought or merged with uh,
all the companies.
just found it, Ellisor. And well, they bought all the companies. Basically, if you buy glasses, no matter what the brand is, Luxottica owns that.
Yeah. Have they bought Warby Parker yet?
They own everything. So yeah, they own a Warby Parker. I don't even have to look it up to be able to confidently say that Luxottica owns Warby Parker. They own. It's absolutely. We could do a whole show
They're
just
public.
on
Warby Parker is a
Luxottica.
public. This is according to AI, to Google's Gemini. Warby Parker is a publicly traded company that does not have a single owner. Yep, it is not owned by Luxottica yet.
Huh. Well,
Anyway, regardless.
huh.
So, with the exception of Warby Parker and maybe a couple of other independents out there, you're probably buying from Luxottica.
It's yeah. I don't even think you have to say probably because they own
Yeah.
everything. But the point is that Meta is going to be shipping their own lower cost or lower price smart glasses, and yeah, like you said, they have the cameras, and it's, Brand, much like the foldable phone, I'm still trying to find a use case that makes sense to me for this whole smart glasses market. I just feel like it's a thing where once again it's like, hey, we've got this great solution. Now let's convince people there's a problem.
Okay. So I can argue with that.
Okay.
Because I can make a great use case for Meta branded smart glasses.
That's a different thing. And I know what your use case is going to be, but I'll play straight man. Really, Brian? I can't imagine. What could that use case be?
That use case is that Meta needs you to not be on hardware that's not controlled by them.
Yeah. And this ultimately becomes a great data collection tool for Meta.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, there was a line in that Wired article that I am trying to find.
Oh yeah,
Said,
I know which one. Yeah. The headline: Meta silently added face recognition code for its smart glasses to millions of phones.
Right. And according to Wired, in April, Meta said if it were to utilize face recognition, because these things basically will include face recognition, right? That's great. And so it wouldn't be rolled out without first taking a very thoughtful approach, quote unquote. And my reaction to that is thoughtful for whom? Thoughtful for whatever current regime that Meta wants to suck up to? Yeah, probably. Thoughtful for what is good for Meta? Probably. Thoughtful for we, the users? In no way, shape, or form. Ever. And also, Meta has been on this kick to come up with hardware that's not Apple owned. In particular, they're particularly worried about Apple having controlling the devices on which people access their services. But they are not far behind that is being concerned about it being Android, unless Meta's making it. They've been on this kick for years. Zuckerberg has wasted billions and billions of dollars in trying to make hardware that we will care about, and has so far failed.
Well, okay, I get why he would want to do that, even though he's got that that kind of squirrel thing going on with how he approaches strategies to Meta products. The more he can keep everyone in the Meta ecosystem, the more data he has access to. And when the farther away you get from that, the lower the amount of data becomes. And and at the far end of that is Apple, where Apple's doing what they can to silo our personal information so that companies like Meta aren't harvesting it. So of course he wants to keep everyone in the Meta system, and we've seen him Zuckerberg try and do this with I'll call them non-corporeal products because it just sounds cool. Um, like creating his whole metaverse thing, which failed dismally. And then before that, there was the virtual meeting space world thing that I've forgotten the name of. And
Whatever.
yeah, like people were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on air quotes plots of land
Yeah.
in that whole thing. And of course they've lost all that money because the thing flopped. And okay, you have said time and again that Zuckerberg doesn't have the knowledge and experience to wield the power that he
Yeah.
has. I'm paraphrasing.
To quote me,
Yes, let's quote you.
Mark Zuckerberg does not have the wisdom to wield the power that he has amassed.
There we go. Yes. And we can see that with a lot of the business decisions he's making and the decisions around uh, privacy and user data protection.
Yeah.
And
Right.
these glasses, I think, will play right into that. You know what, Brian? It doesn't matter if Meta comes out and says, you know what, we have a new process for this. We have a new model where all the data is processed on device only. We literally never have access to any of it, nor do we have access to other metadata and metrics related to how you are using this data and the app on your phone that powers the camera.
Right. They have not
Doesn't
said
matter.
that.
They have not.
To be clear, they have not.
They
And
have not
they
said that.
would never say that because
No.
their entire business model is even more so than Google is predicated on having access to that data.
Right. So even if they did say that and it was true, it doesn't matter because they have broken any trust that we have in them as a company long ago. And there's no integrity in telling us anything about we're being thoughtful with how user data is being processed and managed and stored and shared.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter because we don't
the
trust
people
them.
who care about that are few and far between. The people like us who are, girding up Rocinante, isn't that Don Quixote's horse? And
Rocinante.
thank you. And tilting at those windmills, we're few and far between. Most people do not care about this.
That's true, but that puts the onus on us to swing at those windmills and hopefully to get more people aware of the threat to their privacy.
Right. Okay. But the topic of smart glasses writ large, that to me is a separate topic because I find the idea of having I got to back up. One of the things that Meta is this is code that they've put into their Ray-Ban glasses, I think, right? And but it's not activated.
Yeah, I'm presuming that, to be mostly pedantic, it's the app that goes on your smartphone that connects to the Ray-Ban glasses.
Yeah, it could be. I don't actually know.
I don't think there's any real serious processing power in the glasses.
Okay. But it's called name tag, and the idea is to basically pair people's faces that with a name.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that incredibly compelling if I trust the company.
That's and that's a big if. I do not trust Meta.
No.
And okay, well, okay, now here's another problem, Brian. How is the average user who will see the little cameras on glasses, and that will bother them regardless of how they feel about the rest of the platform and who's making it, they don't know who those glasses came from. They don't
Okay,
know what's going
that
on. They're not going to be comfortable with that.
that was a reaction to Google's Glass
Yeah,
many
and
years
it's an
ago.
ongoing glasses, or it's
W-
an
you-
ongoing complaint
okay,
still.
you
Yeah,
say that, but now the image of people walking around filming everything has become so commonplace. I would argue that there are fewer people who will notice and fewer people who will care today.
okay, I appreciate what you're saying. However, we have the cultural thing where people are used to the phones, but they have a more visceral reaction to glasses with cameras on them. And I mean, you're right. People are
Can
so
you back that
used
up?
to yeah. It's okay. Had I done homework, had I known we were going to go down this path, I could have looked up articles about about people complaining about its surveillance on me, and no one has my permission to be using their cameras on their glasses to take photos of me. I've read many articles about this. I see this come up anecdotally a lot on social media. Um, if we take it to a more politicized part of this, there have been lots of articles, people freaking out because ICE agents have been wearing the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and they don't like that the cameras are there recording them and being used to do facial recognition.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. And but so back to my other premise. Apple's supposed smart glasses, which I think are in development, whether or not they'll be released is another issue.
I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah.
Right? I do think they will eventually be released, for what that's worth. But it remains to be seen, because at one point the car was eventually going to be released too.
Mm-hmm.
The car has now been canceled. My point is that I do trust Apple with this task of identifying people, like basically projecting a name above a face. I trust Apple with that information. I trust Apple to process that information locally, and I trust Apple to not pilfer that information for their own profit.
Yeah, that's fair. I, as a user, I would be much more comfortable having a feature like that if I'm in the Apple ecosystem.
But we've seen with our reels and our shorts that we've been doing for the last few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
we're getting access to more people who don't regularly listen to us, and who
Mm-hmm.
don't regularly who aren't necessarily part of the Apple ecosystem in terms of
Mm-hmm.
content. And we've had several people basically saying, yeah, great, give your access, give these tech companies access to your data, not understanding that Apple is currently the one company that is not profiting from our data.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is that you and I can golly, this goes back to something you and I have been talking about for since probably the FBI, the James Comey FBI attempt to get
The San Bernardino
yeah,
mass shooting incident. Yes.
where we said that Apple doesn't do a very good job of marketing the fact that it's not marketing us.
Yeah, and yes, you're right.
And
We have talked about that a lot, and it
remains
still
the
holds
case.
true.
It still holds true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. So anyway, regardless, I would be comfortable with Apple having that data. I am not interested in Meta having that data, and I would be inclined to punch someone wearing Meta glasses in front of me.
Yeah. And but then that plays into what I was saying a few minutes ago about the person seeing you wear the glasses. They don't know what brand or what service is involved. So even if it's Apple glasses, people are going to have a real problem with that.
Yeah, I suspect that Apple glasses will be pretty evident.
They're going to be fashionable.
But Apple's going to have to really, really market the crap out of on device processing of all this information.
Yeah, they will. Will it be enough?
Yeah, will it be enough? All right. Well, anyway, Meta. By the way, you should check us out on Threads.
Oh, that's right. We're on Threads now too.
Yeah, at Context Machine Podcast. Yeah. Anyway, we're on Instagram too. I don't know. It's an interesting battle. Navigating the this is definitely a topic for another show, but navigating the tech giants arms into all of the things is increasingly difficult.
Well, I'm looking forward to that discussion on a future Context Machine episode.
Yeah, same. And that's this week's Context Machine. If you have anything to comment on, add or question, you can write us at Context Machine. No, darn it. I said I was going to fix that. Or you can write us at podcast@contextmachine.io. Our bandwidth is provided by Cashfly. The bass is by Dr. Boom, recorded just for the show.
Framer, they are our sponsor. Even though I forgot to say anything, I'm actually still excited they're a sponsor. That was just me being a top man right there, not remembering the end process. Thank you, Framer, for being here for us.
Well, it's about time you forgot.